Welcome back, guys. This is Success of Success. This is episode 2 of our series that is still under development. And the topic of episode 2 is changing views of success. So, to start off, let's just throw it out in the air. Can your view on success change?
Yeah, for sure it can. And like I brought up in the first episode, so like Jeremy Warner, who is a 60-year-old coach, rodeo athlete, and horse trainer, a lot of different things. When he first moved out and like was doing his own thing, kind of when he like started becoming an adult, he like was focused on like winning rodeos and just making a lot of money. And then but now it's changed a lot more to just getting things done, being productive, being active in his family, like helping his family where he can, like different things like that. Did any of your people you interview talk about how their view of success changed at all?
Yeah, for sure. Like similarly, one of the older ladies that I've interviewed, Miss Cindy Hancock, she's had her life experiences and she's at the age where she's starting to look back and kind of reflect on different moments and different things. And the one thing that I put down and I'm going to quote is I asked her, I said, has your view on success changed? And she said, absolutely. She said that as a young mom, or as young Cindy, she thought success was a spotless home, dinner on the table by 6, kids all sat down, everybody taken care of. But now she views it as more so watching her kids and grandkids grow up and become good people that have gone through struggles but have made it out, and that the real reward is family, which was brought up similarly in a lot of my interviews, which I think is rather interesting that was the main thing brought up, especially when it came to changing views of success and whatnot, is that people first viewed it as more of the societal view, as what we covered in episode 1, but then as they moved on in life and kind of went through different experiences, it's more about their close circle of influence and their close circle of family and friends and the people that they love and are most important to them.
Yeah, and so like Sheldon kind of brought that up too. He's 29 and he owns his own plumbing company, like I said in the first episode, but he kind of brought up like, as he's been through a couple marriages at this point, like when he first, like his first marriage, him and his wife they were always like, they always wanted to, I don't know how to word it. Like he was like, he basically described it as like, they couldn't always pay the bills as much as, like they could pay them, but they couldn't like pay extra on them like they would like, and they couldn't always go out and do fun things. Like a lot of the time they spent together was just in the house, which like is nice. And he said they enjoyed it, but it got kind of,
so like maybe they weren't reaching for like a higher level of success outside of themselves.
Yeah, they were just kind of like, the best way like I can describe it that he was saying was like, they got what they were spending time together, which is what they wanted. So they got what they wanted, and then they didn't try for any more. And he said that's kind of why he thinks that marriage didn't really go the best.
Oh, okay. I also think your view on success can change as you meet different people and as you, like my view on success has changed just from talking to these 3 individuals, whereas imagine what you could do or where you could go if you learned and were influenced by other people,
Yeah. And that's like, so like my mom Jamie, she's 42, and like sorry, she kind of talked about it too, like success, like as you get what you are aiming for in life, or as you reach different successes, you should create new goals. So like for her, she like got a house with property, and then she wanted to get horses, and then she wanted to like get a business, and like those are all things she's done. And like now at this point in her life, some like her check boxes that she wants to get to are like a bigger property with like some different animals like cows and stuff.
Oh, You know what? That is so interesting because Mr. Godfrey compared, he's 10 years older than your mom. You said she was 42, right?
Yeah.
He said like almost the same thing, but a different way. I'm going to quote him, and he said, "Life is lived in front of me, not behind." And I think that was the most powerful thing in any of my interviews, because that is so true. Life is lived in front of you. It's not behind you, or it's I don't know, you can only live it right now. And we talked a lot about that, and especially since he said he's been in all aspects of education and in all sorts of realms of influence and all that kind of stuff, teaching, coaching, being a father, being a grandfather. And he said that, we get to that success, but then they're in the past after that, and we can only look towards the future. We can only climb that higher goal, that higher more. And he said that's kind of where your moral foundation goes, is the heights that you can get to through your morals. And that's how it's going to be built, what kind of foundation you're going to have.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what Sheldon said something similar, but in a very different way.
Really?
He was like, he's been a plumber for, I think he said, almost 9 years now. So basically since he got out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And he was working for somebody as a plumber, and then they started not doing so well in like different aspects, like customer service and different things. So that kind of he noticed that, and he wanted to improve that, and he brought that up that he could take over some of those roles. And the owner of the company he wanted to maintain control of that sort of stuff. So that was one of the things that made one of Sheldon's goals to go own and start his own plumbing company, is because he just wanted to be more successful as a plumber and as a business owner, and he knew he could do that owning his own business, and he knew he could do improve and do better on certain things like that.
So taking from this, I think what we've all talked about is important. As a result from this conversation, another thing I'd like to add before we end and close up with the summary is that, in my opinion, I think that different successes can be changed and perceived differently in all aspects of your life, because we truly do have successes in the everyday and in everything that we do. We just have to find them more so. But from this conversation, your view totally can change, and I feel like it naturally does, whether we realize that or not. And I think that's the important thing. As people get older, we look to them because they're wise, but I think they're wise for a reason, because their view has changed, whether they perceive that it's changed or not.
Yeah, and I think it definitely if your view of success doesn't change, I think it should.
I don't think you can become more successful if your view doesn't get changed,
Exactly. I feel like it needs to, for you to actually go further in life and have what many people would consider a successful life.
I agree. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, drop anything in the comments, send us a message or anything you'd like to hear or see in this video. Subscribe.
Thank you.